We got something special planned for you listeners on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we tell them?
No.
Just
No.
ruin their day. Anyway, we're ripping and rolling. We Facebooking and YouTubing and all that stuff. And again, we'll have some explaining to do. First of all, Herp and Hope, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer Show podcast with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder at El Canto Flaundo. I just put some video up of Lucas the Podcat getting ready for the show, and he's been banned from the show studio. Okay, he was eating the flowers again.
He's officially a cat now.
Yeah, tell him what he was doing. He was up on Flounder's desk there. And
I don't know what he was pushing. It looked like a lighter of some sort. But he was slowly pushing it to the edge.
You know what cats do like this?
And we sat and watched, and yep, he pushed it off the edge.
Doink. Isn't it funny how they're so,
why do they all do that?
Instead of going away, a dog will go, but a cat just check it.
There's a video on YouTube of the cat sitting there, and there's a glass vase, and the person's going, "Don't you do it?
Yeah.
Don't you do it?" And the cat's looking at him the whole, making eye contact and slowly pushing.
But it's with everything. We have a cat, the barn cats. And I remember the time when one of the cats, the late, great Jack's kitty, Hobbs, brought me a frog one time, and he kind of play with it. You just tap it like that. And another cat brought a snake one time into the wash rack inside the stable. And he's just patting it like that. And this little taps on this curled up snake. And I go, oh my God, man, kill it. Anyway, this is, as we speak, this is the 22nd of November. It's Tuesday, a rare Tuesday podcast. The rest of the week, I normally do 3 shows a week. We're only doing 2 this week. As you know, obviously, if you're watching live, we're live on Facebook and YouTube. However, we'll post this on the podcast set, I guess, tonight or tomorrow. So it'll be basically a Wednesday podcast, which is more normal.
Yep.
And then,
but you can go watch it on YouTube if you'd like right after.
Yeah. So. But again, we assume for a lot of people just can't watch live on YouTube or Facebook during the middle of the day. So you can just do your regular thing when Flounder downloads it a little bit later on, just for the record. Also, we'll do a lot. This is kind of a Thanksgiving show. We'll do a lot of sort of Thanksgiving stuff and talk about Thanksgiving and have a little fun. We'll have some newsy stuff, and I have a couple of personal things that we have to sort of deal with. But other than that, in fact, I'll do a couple of those things right now, and then I want to talk about what you guys were talking about when I walked in, when Pete came in, and the first thing he said was,
he started it.
All right, well, tell him.
I buried it deep.
You walk in the room, and you obviously were up, and so what did
yesterday Pete had kind of looked over and saw that on Twitter there was a live feed of the game, and
it was the beginning of the soccer
and he didn't want to know about it.
So the World Cup, is that what they were calling it?
Yes, the World Cup. Yesterday was the
Cup of the World.
First game that the USA played. Who'd they play? Iran?
Wales.
I'm sorry. Not
Same
Iran.
thing, Wales.
Wales. And
did they win or lose? I don't know.
It ended up
they tied.
It ended up in a tie, and then I'll let Pete take it from here.
90 minutes and no score. Well, that's great. All right. So anyway, so you said that, and then what?
He said he tied, and I just went off.
And
all the stuff I had buried yesterday, I went off. We got the youngest team there, I think. 25 years old is the average. We're fast, we're young, we're athletic. We're not very good. We got one really good player, Pulisic or whatever.
I thought we used to be a good team. Were we?
It's a whole new
we're
team.
Not on their level.
It's a whole new team.
You're up against us.
Like Pete had said, it's a very young team.
And athletic and fun. And Wales is an older team.
Yeah.
So the first half, we ran them up and down. It was like running them up and down the court.
Yeah.
It was like having Trae Young up against LeBron. He was dragging, or it was Kareem dragging Bill Laimbeer Bob Lanier up the court back and forth. And we dominated. And that Alexi Lawless at the half, everybody's saying we're dominant. This is what we do. No one expects us to win. Pedal to the metal, balls to the wall. Yeah. Just go for it. Just bury this team, score a couple more goals, and we'll have 3 points going into England Friday, which we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're scored. We're 1-0. All we got to do is basically keep scoring.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is don't give the ball to Gareth Bale, their best player. One time the most expensive player in the world. That's how good he is.
And they all would know this.
He's their best player by far.
Right.
It's like don't let Michael Jordan have the ball.
So in other words, so if you have the ball and he's coming towards you, kick it away from him to
Well,
somebody else.
you can't keep it away from, but you can basically keep him from winning the game.
Okay.
Another thing you don't do is you don't let him have the ball in the penalty box in front of your goalie.
Oh boy.
And another thing is you don't foul him there, so he gets a free kick 2 feet away from the goalie, and he scores with 10 minutes to go.
Oh boy.
And they tie the game. The whole second half, they played this defensive game in a shell.
It was a completely different game than it was the first half.
Different game. And afterwards, you saw the look on Alexa. All they go, what were they doing? First of all, one of our best players never even went in the game. They go, where was that guy? And he goes, well, I don't know why we went in a shell like that. Why did we do it? And all three of them are looking at each other, Landon, Donovan, and well, we've blown it.
So this is
we've blown it.
Coach, is the coach
coach made that decision.
What decision? What did he say? Stop running
to
after
play more
him?
of a defensive game than to play more of an offensive game.
I don't know. I'm going to strategize here, and I'm going to play the European game. We can't play their game.
Okay, see, I don't know. For a non-soccer guy, what is that? Does that mean you don't get as aggressive trying to pass, or
that means
what?
they think one goal is worth 5. They score. I mean,
they're playing. Kimmer, they're playing more
keep away.
Yeah,
every time they score, they act like it's never happened before, and it never will again.
Yeah.
It's only one goal.
Yeah.
And they acted like it was a 3-goal lead, and so he just sat back and played defense.
Yeah.
And then the stupid foul with 10 minutes to go, which allowed him to do the easy penalty kick. The best player. They did everything wrong in the second half you can, because that coach decided he was going to be coach instead of here's the ball, boys. You're faster and younger than them. Run up and down.
The first half they were very aggressive and they controlled the ball the majority of the game the whole time. The second half it was completely different. They were playing more defense. So
I hate that about. If you got 2 goals, fine. You want to do that with 2-goal lead, fine. One goal is nothing.
Not to mention how much momentum we had throughout the first half.
Well, now is this coach a well-known coach? Is he
Never
the
heard
best
of
coach?
him. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know who he is.
Okay.
I don't know. He's a bald
Well, that's
guy.
kind of disappointing.
Kind of looks like him.
Now, and we might as well talk about one other soccer thing. I saw in the news Saudi Arabia beat who?
I didn't know that. Thanks. I appreciate it. No, I saw the headline this morning. That's the problem with having in Qatar. There's no way you can watch it live, basically.
And who did they upset somebody?
They either tied or beat.
No, they beat them.
They beat Argentina.
Yeah, they beat Argentina.
The headline was "Another Scar on the Soul of Argentina,"
which I guess to me, I don't know.
Oh, that's
this,
their
but
world. My neighbor's Argentinian. I don't want to see him. I don't want to talk to him.
Isn't Argentina and Brazil like the 2 best in the world or whatever?
They're always good.
Yeah. So there's aren't there like 3 or 4 Brazil, Argentina?
That's where Lionel
England,
Messi's from. One of the best soccer players in the world, if not the best soccer player in the world.
I don't know if they're good as well as they used to be.
Messi, is that what you said?
Lionel Messi.
But you don't lose to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. And I get they celebrated by throwing a bunch of gay people off buildings and then planning another attack on America. So that's
Well, we're going to have the whole scoreboard rundown later on in the show.
That'd be so exciting.
I can't wait to play the boy buggers of England.
90 minutes to a tie, yes. Anyway, okay, a bunch of things to get off here going. This is kind of a Thanksgiving show, and we'll talk about a lot of Thanksgiving stuff. First of all, already I'm watching on the news, travel is already horrible, apparently, if you go into the airport and and stuff like that. However, I took 400 down here today, almost nobody on the road. I'm very, very light traffic.
There was somebody on the road when I was up here going 80 miles an hour.
Oh, really? Copper?
Yes, the highway patrol. No, he let me go by.
Oh, my
It was me and a Brooklyn. And we were blowing up 400, and he didn't even move a muscle, and he had me.
Was he on the side of the road?
Yeah, he had me.
Oh my God!
Dead to rights, and he didn't even move.
I wonder if he just pulled somebody over and didn't have his thing back up yet.
Excuse me?
Well, his thing, that's what she said. Officer, he didn't have his thing back up yet. I'm sorry. Well, that's very strange.
But you know what? It's happened 2 or 3 times, knock on wood, that they've had me dead to rights on 400, and they just let me go. Or maybe he's not looking. And I've been lucky. So
Wow.
I can't complain if I do get a ticket. I've skirted 3 or 4.
Well, I'm being real careful these days because I had one a few years ago, and I don't want to get another one.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter if it's a few years.
Well, I don't know. No, it was during the pandemic. It was 2 years ago when nobody was driving.
How fast were you going?
Yeah, 55 I was doing 58 and a 45 or something. So I had to go to school. Remember, I had to go to that.
So it was
freaking
a
Saturday
school zone
class.
you were blowing through.
No. It was on Holcomb Bridge Road going west, which it turned into whatever else the road is. And anyway, whatever.
I congratulate you to be able to go to 58 miles an hour on Holcomb Bridge.
Well, it was during the pandemic. Nobody was on the road.
That's true.
There were like 2 cars, and I said, "Oh, they're going so slow." I said, "This is bullshit." And I slammed it into third and went to the left lane. Bing bang. Oh no! Crap.
Kimmer speeding through school zones, brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com. And by the way, you've got today's Tuesday. You got today and tomorrow to give them a holler at FarmhousePrintingCo.com because custom shirts, hats, signs, no matter how many you order, coffee cups. It's 10% off if you mention the Kimmer podcast.
Right. And by the way, I've just communicated with Eric again this morning, and I sent him 2 more gift proposals that I want to do things on various things. And I know I'm getting real high maintenance on this, but I'm pretty excited about it, and I think he can pull it off, and it's going to be fun. So, but anyway, FarmhousePrintingCo.com, and you can order just one. If you want one picture on one shirt, they'll be happy to do it.
Hopefully he won't be so busy dealing with you.
Yeah, I know. I'll get out of his hair. Sorry, Eric.
I remember what Doug Nodine used to say. He goes, "Get off my back."
I remember that too.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, have you seen the "Get off my back"?
It's like Harry Beetle telling Dennis O'Hare, "Just knock it off, Dennis."
Well, when Harry was there, not with his low-grade
Back in the
fever.
newsroom, but yeah.
Harry's not coming in today. He's got a low-grade fever.
Low-grade fever.
What the hell? I remember Tom Hughes. Tom Hughes heard that as he's walking by. And he just stops and says, "What the hell is a low-grade fever?"
A couple things I put on Facebook this morning. It's the 25th wedding anniversary of my old golfing buddy and Danny McLefty's longtime school-time best friend, his huge and his big Dave Lavelle, and his lovely bride, Kristen. And I performed their wedding ceremony 25 years ago today. And they put a picture out there, and a picture of me. You can go to the Facebook page and check it out. And they're the sweetest people, the nicest couple. They're salt of the earth type. Just and Dave is a big. He's like 6'7". He was a football player at Auburn, and I mean he's a great guy. And Kristen just as sweet as she can be. Anyway, congratulations, 25 years. Lasted a lot longer than either of my two. And that was it.
Combined?
Yeah, combined. No, not quite combined. But and it was a great day. And again, for the record, it was very serious. It was very spiritual. It was I performed 3 wedding ceremonies, and they were all absolutely serious and beautiful, and it was fun. And then I retired because the laws changed. But so that was pretty. Anyway, it was great seeing the picture today, and congratulations, 25 years. That's great.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
today would have been my mom's 90th birthday.
Really?
90, which means she was 29 when she had me, which is kind of a little
Back
past.
then, that was kind of
in
old.
the early
back then.
60s, that was a little older, and she had my brother at 34, which really in the
that was
60s
really
was a
old.
little farther than usual.
Oh, I remember they were saying to women who, because of the pill and various things, that you didn't want to wait too late because of all these things were happening to their system inside. So yeah, well, good, excellent. Let's see. What's the matter? Everything all right?
He's awful vocal. He's getting more and more vocal.
Little kitty cat?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's seeing female cats out there. So that's why I've got him scheduled for December 2nd
Getting a little tingle, is he?
to get him taken care of.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. We're going to see him walk around with that cone on his head. Poor
Bumping
thing.
into stuff.
Oh, no, I hate that. Poor thing.
Well, the crappy thing is he's got to stay like in a cage for 3 days.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's good, actually, because he won't be able to hurt himself.
So, but again, my buddy has a giant dog cage, so I can just put him in there. I'll put a blanket and some.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bear had to wear a cone once.
We've had every dog we've had.
And he ran so fast that he ran right at me, and he caught it up against a wooden post, and it exploded.
Oh, my.
It just shattered.
Oh,
and
my.
he looked at us for around a second and said, "Okay, it's gone," and it just kept running.
Oh, God.
It was plastic, and it just shattered.
Yeah. A couple things. It was a very sad thing yesterday. We got the message, and I put this message on Facebook also, that that very sweet horse known as Georgie is crossing the Rainbow Bridge today at UGA. And on my phone, when I put the message out there, my phone exploded because, again, our Facebook, the Kimmer Show Facebook page has people all over the world, almost every continent, basically, reacting to him. And I'm so, it was kind of a Thanksgiving show. I'm actually thankful. I'm very sad. And of course, it reminded me of Jack the Good Boy and Claire, who passed away, and I helped put her in the truck. I mean, it's just anyway. But I was so thankful that the day before, I was able to get several videos of him happy, playing with his friends, getting treats. I mean, and it was our last video before he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So that I was thankful for that and glad about that, and put that on the Facebook page again too. But again, thank you all for your comments. It's very sad. Debbie, who owns him, also owns Herbie, who's, if you watch the video, you know who that is. And she's the only person basically in the world who can ride Stretchy because he hates men and won't let anything else. Bye, kitty. Bye, little kitty. He's a good kitty. He took my eye out. Oh, anyway.
Nick Fury took your eye.
And it's very sad. But again, he was a great horse, and poor Debbie, and I'll be seeing her later on this week.
How old was he?
I don't know. He was fairly young. I think maybe 10, 12, 13, somewhere in that area. It was cancer, and it got into his jaw. And the problem is they couldn't operate because it was this entire bone, and they just, at some point you can't eat and you'll starve to death. So they had to, do it. But anyway, so that was kind of sad. I was still very sad, but I'm thankful that I was up there. And again, I'll stop talking about this in a second. Reminded me, I think it was either 1 or 2 days before Jack passed away. I think it was the last day before he passed away. He passed away on a Saturday morning, the 26th of February, and the Friday before that, I believe, I was with him, and I took him out for his walk, and he dragged me by every single turnout pasture all up and down the line to kind of neck fight with all the horses in every single pasture, as if to say, I'm still around, and he just popped every one of them and kind of had some fun, and then went back in, and the next morning he passed away. It's like he was doing the round. It's a damn, I don't know what to tell you, but anyway, so thank you for your verified comments. Let's see. Sarah, a couple things. And again, I'm going to wait for Flounder to come back in for this because he's going to make fun of me. I know it. Okay, I'm about to read this message here from Sarah, Sara, Sarah. Please post your contact for contributions at your website. I've been to the kimmershow.net and can't see an address for mailing checks, etc., and give instructions for Venmo, etc. Thanks. Now, Flounder's going to say, it's one of the price of vodka. Okay, if you, but for people like me, okay. Okay.
What you do is you would go to the kimmershow.net, and when you go to that page, up at top, you'll see the word contact. You hit that button. And then you go to that page, and then you just scroll down, and it's right there.
Right there. Okie doke. Excellent.
And maybe we should put it higher up or something. Make it a little easier than.
Well, it reminded. And again, I know. I mean, I'm sure. I know you guys are chuckling about this, but guys like me, if you don't see it, you don't know where it is.
Well, Strick just came on and goes, what the hell's that blue square on the top right of my screen? It's the Venmo thing.
See, there you go. And she said, how do you work Venmo or whatever? So again,
for that, all you'd have to do is you take the camera on your phone and you put it up to that thingy that on the screen, and then it'll
do
take.
They just hold it there, or do they have to click the?
No, they don't have to click it because then a link will pop up to where it takes you to the Kimmer Show.
Usually, I don't have to click. I just hold it up.
That's what I'm saying. It just has to be focused. You don't have to click the button or anything.
Again,
by the way, welcome to 2022, Strick.
I've told a story a few years ago when I played video games with the barman, my official stepson, and we're on the couch. He said, "You want to play video?" This guy said, "Yeah, sure, it'd be great." He gives me the thing, and he gets his thing. And we're playing away, and all of a sudden, he puts his little doodot on the left heel of somebody in the upper corner of the screen, and he's got 14 rockets. And I said, "Wait a minute, where the hell did you get these rockets?" He says, "Well, if you click the heel, it'll go up on the left-hand screen." I said, "How are you supposed to know that?" I said, "I don't." He said, "I don't know. We all just know it." I said, "Well, I didn't know it. I mean, if you
everybody knows the third pixie on the left is always the one with the guns.
Yeah, if you click the sword on the right of the third guy, you get 9 rockets. Well, Jesus. So, it reminds me. The other day, I for Christmas is coming up, and so I know I know what I'm doing for Jennifer and things like that. But I want, for the kids, I want to make sure that they have a list for Christmas because they're my grandkids, and also Sarah does stuff like that. So I asked Sarah, what's on the list this year for Christmas for the kids, for my grandkids. So she sends me 2 emails, and they're both links to Amazon something or other. So I open it up and it says, Amazon, we need your password and your account number. And then I'm going, oh my God. So, here we go again. So I said, I don't even know how to do this. I don't have a password.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have one, right? So you just need to set up an Amazon account.
Well, but I don't have it said we need your password anyway. So
if you're going to set up anything, it's an Amazon account because you can buy anything.
Okay.
Literally anything.
Again,
Walmart. Go to walmart.com and do them instead.
But I still don't have the list. So I wrote her back and I said, I don't have she said, well, I can paste her. So I said, just, whatever. I just need the list. And again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know it's bad and it's my fault and I'm the only guy in America who can't deal with when they send me apps and links and stuff that I don't have anything there. I don't have a password. I don't have an account number. So
no, you're not alone. The Strick here is right there with you.
I mean, it's just so freaking aggravating. I'm an educated man. I've been
twice
around
over. Well, you went there.
My God. So anyway, but I thought that was so funny that I needed password. I don't have a password. What password? What account number?
The password is.
Yeah. I used to watch that with Bill Cullen. I used to watch Betty White's husband.
Alan Ludden.
Bill Cullen was the handicapped guy in the glasses.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And Alan Ludden was Betty White's husband.
I thought Password was boring, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I used to watch it.
But the one when they had the celebrities on, like the time they filmed An Odd Couple and they had them in their character, Jack Klugman and Tony Randall, was hysterical.
Celebrity ones, yeah. Or the pyramid one where they go with the speed rounds.
I love the $10,000 pyramid.
Yeah,
man, that was great.
It's a big thing. It's an animal. It's not a mineral.
It's in my pants. That actually, you sit on the edge of your seat watching that one.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, and especially when you see it and and you're trying to think of what you would do. Anyway.
That's a hard one because if you ever didn't look at the clue and tried to play along, it's harder than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Hold on 1 second here. I'm crossing off things as we go. For Sarah. So Sarah, hope that explains everything. Also, a quick note from Ed. We were talking about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which may lead to a little trick we're going to pull on you later.
Up.
Anyway, edit that out. And I mentioned that we had one of our funny guys used to call in all the time, and he actually sang the national anthem to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early, stuff like that. And we got a note here from Ed, and he said he had a fraternity brother who could do Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech to the tune of Ghost Riders in the Sky. Ghost Riders, Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. I don't know how that would go. I'm trying to think of the words of Ramblin'. I should have written it down, but anyway, I thought that was... So think in your head if you can figure out how to do that one, it might be kind of cool. One more kind of quick personal thing, if you don't mind. I've had a raging toothache for 3 days.
I'm glad you said toothache.
What'd you think of? Oh, sorry. When the guy says, I have a raging, he doesn't stop right there. So I've had a raging toothache or gum. I don't know what it is. It's up and then down. I mean, it's in the whole area. And so all I'm thinking of is, I don't want to, okay, maybe it's just a guy thing. I've had, what's this, Tuesday as we speak. This has been going on since probably last Friday or whatever. And it's not horrible all the time, but I've been pumping. I take 4 or 5 Advil at a time every few hours. Okay, so that helps. I mean, not Advil, Tylenol. So that helps deal with the pain. But I didn't want to call the dentist because the last time I did that, it cost me $20,000 and I had 7 months of agony and still biting my tongue, by the way. Every once in a while, I'm still biting my freaking tongue because of those implants and the teeth things and surgery and all that crap. So I'm thinking, oh, God, and it feels like the same kind of thing. I'm hoping it's just I need my teeth cleaned, you need to floss. Well, or maybe could be a cavity. If it's, thank God it's a cavity. I hope it's a cavity. Anyway, so finally this morning, and again, I didn't want to call because I didn't want to find out. I don't want the guy to say, "Yeah, we need to take it out and get you another freaking implant," and I'm just going to cut my face off. I'm just going to go, "Boys, it's over," whank, and just take the whole thing and just right off. Anyway, so I called them, Deerfield Dentistry. Called them this morning. They're right up near where I am, and they're in my plan. And they're making room for me at 5:00 today.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is very, very nice.
When they're all tired and they want to go home?
They want to go home, and they're probably, here comes that guy again.
Crap.
Just put the damn thing out of there, you bag.
That's like when you work at the restaurant in the back of the kitchen and you see that guy come in at like 11:30 p.m. You're just
1 minute to closing.
I'm telling you right now, I'm never making a dental appointment at 5:00 in the afternoon.
Well, actually,
I'm sorry.
Actually,
they've been there since 8 in the morning.
Well, but the other thing is they're closed Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, so they're closed the whole rest of the week. So they said they're going to stay open till 6 to try to take
so
care
they
of
want to
people.
be gone for Thanksgiving holiday, and
So
you're
they really
keeping
want
them
to
there.
hurry up.
Oh, you're an idiot.
They got to get on the road. Well, what difference does it make? I'm going to be in pain. It's going to be awful, and teeth pain for me. My nerves go sideways, so they can never deaden them.
You're going to be in pain, so you're going to make yourself a pain for everybody else at the dentist's office.
It's going to be awful, but I'll bring them donuts. I bring them a big dozen donuts.
Oh, that's what they want to see at a dentist place.
I always bring fat. I tell them, and I go through the drive-through with Krispy Kreme and I say, I want all the fattening ones because it's for a dentist's office. So.
I'd like to point out we're 40 minutes into the Thanksgiving show, and we've yet to talk about Thanksgiving.
Well, we started with soccer, so we knew this was going to be different. Anyway, I'm so thrilled that they're going to get me in at 5:00 today, even though I know I'm going to dread it and it's going to be awful. And there we go. So whatever. Let's see. This morning I was going down to get the paper, and it's still dark. And I'm in the driveway, and I think, oh, crap, I don't see the paper. Normally, it's been getting there. I was complaining about it, and they changed everything. The paper's been great. It's been there at 5:00 in the morning and forever. So this morning, I'll go down there, and there's no paper, and it's in the dark. I'm saying, oh, crap. All of a sudden, a car comes careening around the corner, and there's nobody else, in the complex, so I know that's the guy. He rolls the window, and I says, hey, Kimmer, how's it going? And throws a paper at me. We got a fan who's chucking the paper as I'm out there.
Tony Soprano in his bathrobe, standing at the end of the driveway. Somebody comes by and shoots you.
Yep, it could have happened. Honestly, for a second, I thought, oh, God, I wonder if this is it,
Drive by. He's out every day at 5:00.
Anyway, okay, let's do some. Any other things to cover before we do some Thanksgiving stuff?
I did something so stupid yesterday at Kroger.
I want to hear all of it.
So basically, it's just gonna be me for Thanksgiving because everybody else is out of town. Okay, fine, we'll do it next week. Yeah. So I said, but the hell with it, I'm gonna cook because I love cooking Thanksgiving dinner for me. Did it for years. So I went to Kroger yesterday to get all the stuff, all the fixings and everything to do it. The cherry pie, the ice cream. I make the dressing. I'm gonna go get the meat today, the ham or boar's head ham or something like that. So, so I get over $100, which is fine because I have a coupon for $9 off if you go over 90. That's good. Right. So, and I usually don't buy $100 worth of food, but this time that's a lot of food. Yeah. It's a lot of food. So I go to the self checkout because the other one, there's never anyone there, and the line's out the yang.
Yeah.
So I go to self checkout, and it's not really full, and I do my thing. And it won't take one of my coupons.
Well, of course.
So I call the lady over. Yeah. This really funny African American lady comes up and says, "What's the problem, honey?" And I said, "Well, it won't take my coupon."
Call me honey.
And she
kiss me on the mouth.
She didn't call me colonizer. So she takes it and she plays around it. Goes, "There you go." And I said, "Oh, well, thank you very much." So it goes through. So I get everything and I load everything up, and I'm looking at it and it says, "Call attendant," because it hasn't spit the receipt out. And usually I would say, screw it.
Yeah.
And if it was full, people waiting, I would have left.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it hasn't kicked the receipt out yet. But the last few times, in fact, today I opened up a Jimmy Dean farmhouse breakfast thing, and it was busted inside. So I'm going to have to take that back. It's happening more and more often.
Yeah.
So I said, you're probably, once again, you're going to need a receipt in case something's bad. Yeah. So I said, excuse me. And she comes over and says, what's the matter? And I said, it hasn't given me my receipt. And she looked at it and she goes, well, I think I see the problem. You need to put your credit card in this little slot here.
Forgot to pay, did
I
you?
was this close to walking out with $100 worth of food, and I would not have looked back.
Oh, my
And I
God.
wouldn't even know until I got home. I would have thought, now, wait a minute. I didn't pay for that.
Are you ready for this? This is irony, and we do this every once in a while. I have in my hand the copy I'm about to give to you of Harper's Magazine.
Oh, my God.
And in Harper's Magazine, every week or month or whatever, every week I guess it is, they have the Harper's Index, which is a very famous kind of a survey of things that are of interest.
How
to
often
some
do they
people.
do this?
I don't. I think it's once a week, maybe once a month, once a year.
Like
I don't
every
know.
other
this is
show we're doing.
December. No, it's once a month. Harper's Magazine, December
Once a month.
2022.
Yeah, we've
once
heard
a
it
month.
3 times in the
Well,
last.
they sent us extra
All right,
copies.
all right,
My God, you're so.
Just because everybody comments when you do this. I'm saying.
Well, geez, it's just a thing. Anyway, you were talking about walking out with a. Okay, check this out. Portion of shoppers who say they have stolen something while using a self-checkout machine. 1 in 3. A third of the shoppers cheat when they go through the self-checkout.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to. You can
Doesn't
probably
it beep with if you don't scan something?
It doesn't even. And even when it beeps, they just wait.
go.
Well, then everybody would cheat.
I mean, the only place that checks is Costco, because Costco always has those people that kind of just
a third
they
of the
glance
people
at your
say,
receipt
"Yeah, I
and
would
look at the
glance at
bag.
it."
A third always steals something. And one more thing. Percentage of retailers that have invested in additional security equipment this year. 50% of it started paying eye scanners and stuff.
Okay. I won't tell you what store did this because I don't ever want to get someone in trouble. But she was an Indian woman, and she was always very friendly when I went there.
Yeah.
And she was scanning this thing, and she kept scanning it, and it wouldn't work. And she goes, well, it's not your fault or my fault this thing isn't working. And she just slid it down the thing.
And that was the ball game, huh?
Yeah,
Good for you.
I left with it. Yeah.
Here's your Harper's
Oh, thank you
Magazine.
very
It's
much.
all essays and stuff. Hey, there you go. Whatever. Anyway, okay, now where else? Let's see.
Okay, what is this bullshit?
What?
Waiting for the end of the world. Should we be rooting for the apocalypse? This is
There's
this
a bunch of-
anti-human,
Yeah, I know. It's
self-loathing.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
yeah.
these New York. Look, if you live in the hellhole called New York City, kill yourselves.
Yeah.
But don't think the rest of us want to kill ourselves.
Again, this is us keeping track of the other side, of
Yeah.
the other people.
Because there's usually
this
one
is-
article in here that's worth reading. The rest of it's just
right.
anti-Trump
Yeah, it's like Vanity
crap
Fair.
like this.
It's like Vanity Fair went after Ivanka Trump again, this month or whatever. So, but again, it's a book or it's a magazine of essays and
Because they live in a
commentary.
miserable world.
Yeah, I
They
know.
think the rest of us live in a miserable world.
I don't know how you could do that. I don't know how you could be that way all the time. I honestly, I don't. But anyway, in case you like literary stuff. I like reading people I disagree with if they're clever and if they have
if they're
something to say
well-written.
and if they're well written, then I enjoy it. Which is the only reason I get crap like that. But anyway.
By the way,
let's see.
that film
Yes.
dropped yesterday. The Died Suddenly film that they've been waiting for. And I tried to watch it. It's kind of, at the first 15 minutes, they could have
With
done
that
a better
blonde
job.
chick who's a bombshell girl. What's
I
her
don't
name?
know who the hell it is. But anyway, but everybody's talking about it on Twitter and social media last night. It's kind of hard to watch. But it has a lot of Bill Gates in there literally saying, with charts and everything, how we're going to decrease the population. And the first thing is vaccines. He literally says, we got to decrease the population, and we can use vaccines, we can use
There
this,
goes
we
the
can
sperm
use that.
count. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, how are you using vaccines
Sperm count.
to lower it?
Sperm count.
Or just kill us?
Well, or make us so we don't care. I mean, honestly, I think that I've seen. I just saw the other day another link about a study that was hidden that showed the number of young men whose sperm count has dropped 80% or something since they took all these vaccines and boosters and stuff.
Well, in the food,
And
the
whether it comes
estrogen
back,
in the
they
food.
don't know.
The food, this right here, you're not supposed to be drinking this because the plastic leaks
Plastic
into
bottle,
the water,
yeah.
and that's like makes you more feminine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's not just complain about everything. Sorry. I have my new jeans and everything,
Yeah, you look good, sashaying around, showing everybody your ass.
I'm glad I don't ever watch. By the way, is that when that is on live? Is it saved so people can go back later and watch it? Or
Watch YouTube's in the.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube and watch any of them.
All right, now if someone wanted to watch our podcast on YouTube from yesterday, what would they do?
go to the YouTube page.
Go to YouTube and then put a date in or what?
No, they just scroll down and look at the dates. Everything's there.
Okay.
TheKimmerShow.net. Yeah, go there and click on YouTube.
TheKimmerShow.net if they can find
There's
it
a link
there?
to the YouTube. Yes.
Excellent. Well, there you are.
Now, someone said last week that YouTube had taken down some of our videos. I didn't check on it.
I'm not sure. I'll check with Mike, but nothing. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary.
We
But
did something bad. We didn't get a notice, did we?
No, usually they warn you when they said they're going to knock it off.
But we haven't done anything on this show.
Well, yeah, we have.
Well, we say bad words once in a while, but who doesn't? I mean, everybody.
They don't
says.
like our politics, though. You got to remember that.
Well, yeah, I guess. I just,
We're too small potatoes.
We're not changing this.
We're too small potatoes.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Thanksgiving stuff. Well, first of all, Founder, any comments about yesterday or anything before we do Thanksgiving stuff? Anything all right? Anything at work? Everything all right?
Yeah, great. Yeah, just everyone's in vacation mode. Everyone's ready for the holidays. So
Excellent.
Even the dentist.
As
you will discover. No, we're going to dispense with the ether this time.
It's bothering me. I got to take some more pills again. It's like every 3 hours I'll take 4 or 5.
Take some before you go.
Oh, believe me, I'll take something before I go.
You're out
I
in
got
the car.
Something I'm gonna.
What's that dude in the car
Take
outside?
it with me in the parking lot. I don't know. No, officer, I'm going into the dentist. Leave me alone, will you? I'm on the phone.
Like, it'll be like the old Cheech and Chong movies where you see the ice cream truck going down the road and there's smoke billowing out.
The guy stumbles out of the car.
Yes, officer, can I help you?
Was I speeding? Anyway, all right. Well, Thanksgiving. One of my, I don't know why I haven't thought of this for a long time. It's hard to see, but on my fingertip, on my left hand index finger, I have a scar that goes all the way like that. My final wife, Thanksgiving, I believe the final Thanksgiving with my final wife, I was carving the turkey, but I wasn't actually carving it. I was using a regular butter knife, or a butter knife, not a sharp steak knife, but a regular knife, knife, fork, spoon, a regular knife, dull edge knife. And so I'm trying to get something off like this, and I went wham, and I cut my finger with a dull knife, almost clean off. And oh man, of course, and so I went to the emergency room. And they had to, it was awful. Yeah, whatever. But it was and I almost severed the whole freaking finger. And for years, and I'm still missing a little feeling in there from where they had to clean out whatever, do the thing. But that weekend, I still played golf. I had this huge bandage, and I still went out and played with Danny McLefty and I think Big Huge Dave, whose 25th wedding anniversary with Krista is today. Anyway, I had a big bandage, so I couldn't wear my gloves, so I had to put my finger on the outside and play like that. Back in the day.
Is that the story you're going with?
Yeah, that's the story.
That you cut yourself? That you weren't trying to. It wasn't like you were trying to defend yourself
with a dull knife,
and the knife came down. And
with it. Thank God, if it had been a sharp knife, it was gone. It would have been off.
Wow.
But
could you eat the turkey?
Huh?
Could you eat the turkey?
Hell yes.
There's blood all in it.
No, I got rid of the bloody part. Gave that to our bull mastiff. The Great Dane, Trouser. Harley and Trouser ate well that night. I don't know. Sorry, that's disgusting.
The blood of our father.
Anyway, you have a favorite Thanksgiving story? Did you have one that stands out? Did you have traditions?
It was more of a Christmas story when I was living in San Diego, and we worked at a record video store, and I was living with a girl at the time, and her family is up in San Francisco. My family is back here, and it was like 90 degrees, very hot for Christmas out there. So we were laying around the pool, and we decided to cook dinner for everybody, all the expatriates who lived out there, from New Jersey and everybody from around the country that worked there in San Diego didn't have family. And it was like a huge party the whole day.
Cool.
And that was the year, I think you had the coldest Christmas ever here. I mean, I talked to my friend. It was like 15 degrees or something. There's ice everywhere, and we're sitting there literally by the pool, calling all our relatives back east because it'd been like a blizzard. Cool. And it was so fun because you had these people coming in, and everyone's getting drunk and high and everything like that. And we had a train that went around it was like an old time family Christmas,
kind of train?
But none of us were related.
Yeah.
And it was so cool because they were so appreciative that someone was cooking for them.
Speaking of the cold Christmas, I remember when I was doing the weekend weather on Channel 5, And I was the only weatherman. I wasn't a weatherman. I was a weather reporter. But I was the only weather TV guy who actually predicted snow on Christmas Day, and we got it. We got snow flurries on Christmas Day, and the only non-weatherman. Everybody else was a meteorologist. I was just a guy, a radio guy. Anyway, that was kind of fun.
Flounder, do you have one you say?
For me, it was like my dad, because growing up, my dad's mom, my grandma, lived right down the road. She was like maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles.
Oh, cool.
So we would always go there for Thanksgiving dinner, and my aunt and uncles and all them would be over there. And that side of the family loved to cook. So just the food throughout the day in the kitchen and just all the activity and stuff like that. And just I just remember that kind of stuff.
When I was a kid, I was like my grandfather. I'll be in here watching a football game. Bring me the food when it's ready. And my nephews would be in there cooking. My mother, grandmother, sister, everybody in there cooking. Then I just sit and eat. Didn't have a care in the world about doing it.
Yeah.
Now I love cooking Thanksgiving dinner because I had to just start doing it for myself when my whole family moved out west. So I was doing it here for me and Bear. And I got to the point, I love when you get it right, the dressing is just right, like Mom made it or something. Yeah. You're like, that is a sense of accomplishment. I love doing it now.
I wish I had I have the Bell's seasoning. In fact, one of our listeners
I'm going to use it this year.
The Bell's seasoning. Yeah. And my mother's recipe was just bread and eggs and whatever and seasoning, and that she didn't put grapes or raisins or any of that crap, and it was very, very, very plain.
I have grandma's and mom's recipes right here, and I keep it on my phone.
Can you forward it to me?
You won't?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you like the cranberry orange thing?
Not particularly.
Okay,
I don't put a lot of fruit. Again, I'm probably not. Send the whole thing, and I'll leave out what I don't want. If I might try it just for kicks one day. But that'll be kind of cool. The first official Thanksgiving, commonly called the first Thanksgiving, with the Pilgrims after the first harvest in the New World, October of 1621. The feast lasted 3 days, was attended by 90 Wampanoag Native American people and 53 pilgrims who were survivors of the Mayflower. Massasoit.
Are you getting this from the Mayflower book?
No, but from
I should have brought that in.
From a historical that again, the Mayflower. Mayflower is by
Nathaniel Philbrick.
Philbrick. It's a great book. The chief sent some of his own men to hunt deer for the feast for 3 days. The English and native men, women, and children ate together. Deer, shellfish, roasted meat. They played ball games, sang, and danced, apparently. And then that's how they came to be present. Now, there are some people who are saying the Wampanoag men were not really sure what they were being told was true about staying around there. There was a lot of tension. All the men and warriors were next door in the woods at night in the dark because there was still a lot of, what the hell? Somebody's trying to, that's you airdropping me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll accept it.
It declined it, yeah.
No, I didn't know that was you. I just accepted. Sorry.
It worked? Okay,
yep.
Cool.
And now I got to find hold on a second.
I think he tried to send it to Flounder, too.
Let's see. There were paintings depicting Native Americans sitting down for a bountiful and harmonious meal with colonial families. And now there are some people saying that was all nonsense. It wasn't true. They reached out to the English at Plymouth and wanted an alliance, but not because they were innately friendly, but because they were decimated by disease. And the English could help them fend off tribal rebels.
Wait a minute here. What?
Then they want to talk about the King Philip's War and all.
Wait a minute here.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the Native Americans who lived here were not just peaceful, living in some nirvana, some Eden-like garden?
Yeah.
That they actually fought with each other and cannibalized each other?
It's hard to believe.
Before white men, because supposedly the white men taught them all these things.
Yeah, right.
In fact, they never raped anybody until white men.
Oh
showed up.
no, that never happened. That's why I remember the book. Was it Hanta Yo or Fanta Yo Ho or Fanta Ho or Yanta Ho or something like that? Very famous book. I read it back 50 years ago, and it was a Hanta. God, I can't. Something like Hanta Yo, Hanta Fo, something like that. And it was, and it talked about cannibalism and all kinds of weird stuff. And some of the native tribes were sued to stop it. I mean, it was a huge uproar back 50, 60 years ago. Hanta Yo.
They fought like cats and dogs before we even showed up.
Yeah, and again, they weren't exactly sophisticated in the ways of
They wanted the
communal
English
living or something.
to use their guns to fight against the other Indian tribes.
Yeah, that's why they made alliances with us to help them fight the rebels. Anyway, and of course, Thanksgiving now is being vilified in the media and schools as a genocide. A creeping vilification of the popular holiday is spread across media outlets and schools, claiming it's about genocide and imperialism, including MSNBC hosts criticizing the holiday. Instead of bringing stuffing and biscuits, those settlers brought genocide and violence. They call it the colonizer Christmas because of what Thanksgiving represents.
Proud colonizer.
Fine, yeah. But here, I'd rather do this. One of your favorites, and mine too, but one of your favorites in particular, P.J. O'Rourke. Quote, Thanksgiving is so called because we are all so thankful that it only comes once a year. Melanie White, Thanksgiving is a time to count your blessings, one by one, as each relative goes home. Lorea Gilmore, from the Gilmore Girls. It's not too much food. This is what we've been training for our whole lives. This is our destiny. This is our finest hour. Amazing. Kim Hubbard, a lot of Thanksgiving days have been ruined by not carving the turkey in the kitchen. Which is, think about it.
You're doing it
and
wrong.
My dad used to, at our house, man, my father would get the bird and he would do the whole thing. But it's really smarter to have it all done. So you say, do you want dark meat, light meat? It's all sliced and carved. But, do it and everybody said, no, I don't want this.
Remember back in the 70s, everybody had to have the Ronco electric knife?
Right, right.
And it was just one. It was like taking a chainsaw to the turkey.
It'll go flying. and my favorite, Irma Bombeck, God bless her, rest in peace. This is one of the most famous Thanksgiving quotes of all time. Thanksgiving dinners take 18 hours to prepare. They are consumed in 12 minutes. Half times take 12 minutes. This is not a coincidence.
I have to start doing the cranberry thing tonight. 2 days in advance.
Well, what do you mean? You make cranberry jelly out of the berries or something, or what? What takes?
You get a bag of that,
Yeah.
and basically you get cherry Jello and some oranges and orange juice. You don't use water; you use orange juice in place of water. And what you do is you'll mesh up the orange pulp and stuff. Some people put the rinds in it. I don't like the rinds in it, and chop it up. But pecans and the orange and the cranberries, and you chop it up in the food processor, and then you put the cherry Jello in a bowl, and then you pour that stuff in there, and you move it around so the whole thing's together, and then you have to have it congeal, so you put it in the fridge overnight. So then tomorrow it congeals. Well, actually,
like aspic or something.
Well,
they call
first
it,
you
they call
do.
that crap.
I skipped a spot. You take the pecans and the oranges and the cranberries and you chop them all up, and then you put them in a bowl and you put them in the refrigerator overnight. So you let them, what do you call that? When they come together.
Meld together.
Then the next day, like tomorrow, then I'll make the cherry Jello, and I'll pour that stuff into the cherry Jello, and then I'll put it back in the fridge. So by Thursday, it's jelly. It's like a Jello, but
Wow.
it tastes. But it takes the tart out of the cranberry. And the oranges add their flavor, and you have a little sugar from the Jello, and it's just, and the pecans, God, it's a perfect side dish for mashed potatoes, gravy, turkey.
I'll
It's
be darned.
perfect to have on the side.
There you are. Well, I'm happy for you. It's excellent. Let's see. If you're looking for my turkey recipe, I think you can still find that. Maybe, Flounder, do you know? Is that if they go to the
Kimmershow.net. Yep, it's up there.
And they could do it by going content or whatever, and then open it
I
up?
have to check and see real quick.
Just for the record.
Look,
Now-
he's busy over there.
Well, he's got shit to do. I'm sorry.
Well, KGP just apparently she lost it on.
Oh, yesterday, she lost it.
So
did?
I don't know. Do y'all want to hear it? Again, this is kind of off topic.
Is this
but
Kara?
A reporter went off on the Ms. Latrine up there in the White House, asking about Biden and the laptop. Because 780 days after they said it was Russian disinformation, CBS News finally got around to looking at the laptop. They finally got around to looking at the laptop and said, you know what? The New York Post was right 2 years ago.
Oh my God, that's like an hour from now.
Well, anyway, some reporter actually did his job yesterday after 2 years, and confronted her about Joe Biden having ties with Hunter in business. And here's her response.
no, this is a different one, unfortunately, Pete. But
you don't have that one? Okay.
No, but I can find that one. This is Fauci was up there asking questions, and someone started pressing on the origins of it, and she stopped everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Francine Regine Bettini.
Do y'all want to hear this?
She's black. She's gay. She's a girl.
Only 13% of...
Hold on one second. We have a process here. I'm not calling out on people who yell. And you're being disrespectful to your colleagues, and you're being disrespectful to our guests.
They're gonna lose
I
the
will
press.
not call on you if you yell. And also, you're taking time off the clock because Dr. Fauci has to leave in a couple of minutes.
Why?
I'm done. I'm not getting into a back and forth with you. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Dr. Fauci,
You not.
They're going to lose the media.
Good.
They're already
They should
after him.
have.
They're already after him. Why do you think CBS suddenly has
What a
decided
joke.
that there's something to the laptop?
And
Because they're
again,
after him.
what a story. And by the way, this Catherine Herridge, who used to be on Fox, and then apparently she left to go to CBS because she was all upset that Fox was too conservative or something. And she was a well-respected reporter. She was kind of the Pentagon military type person at Fox for a very long time, very well-respected, very kind of a hard-ass, very serious, sober, somber kind of reporter, which is good. And all of a sudden now she's come out and saying, well, we have confirmed, we've actually gone to the source and confirmed that the source, 2 years after
later.
everybody else knew it. And they're replaying again, finally, the Leslie Stahl soundbite saying, well, we can't confirm any of this on the laptop. And again, the point is, Catherine Herridge, you should have known, if you were a reporter worth your salt, you should have stood up for this a long time ago. And why they suddenly have had to come out and admit that it's true is, I guess, because they're the last ones. Everybody else has finally said, well, this is problematic. Apparently it's a true story. But again, it just shows the bias. And let's remember, a difference of 20,000 votes total for the presidential race in 2020 would have put Donald Trump back in the White House. 20,000 votes in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona would have made the difference. And if this story had been handled by the media the way it would have been if Donald Trump Jr. had dropped off that laptop,
right,
the whole thing would have been different. And one more thing, and I failed to make the point yesterday when I was talking about how important it is for the runoff election. I'm afraid, I'm suddenly hearing things now saying, well, there doesn't seem to be that same kind of excitement for people to go vote in the runoff election December 6th or whatever it is. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go again. Remember, we mentioned yesterday the worst administration that caused problems for America because of their policies, not world events, but their policies have destroyed the function of America is this one. This administration has done the worst policy problems for driving America into the sewer, and it's all because of Georgia. If we had elected 2 conservative senators, none of this would have happened. None of it. We would have been still energy independent. Russia would not have invaded Ukraine. We wouldn't be having any of this business with the gas and the economy. I mean, none of this would have happened. We wouldn't have had this total bailout continuing. Nobody wants to go to work. I go to a bank and there's one person working in there and no more drive-through because they can't find people to... I mean, this is unbelievable. And this is all because Georgia didn't elect 2 conservative senators. So they get away with anything they want. And it's going to happen again because even if Herschel wins, it's still a 50-50 tie. And they have the vice president. So you've got to elect Herschel because in 2 years, 30 senators come up for re-election, and most states are red states, and some are leaning red because of the last election. So the chances are we'll pick up more senators, but we can't lose this one. We have to get this one to keep it 50-50, and maybe hope Manchin and Sinema join us for when they need to for the next 2 years, and then get more Republicans in the Senate. But if we lose this one again, we may never recover. I mean,
elections matter.
You're damn right. They keep saying it, and again, they're the election deniers. And we need to. Who's the girl? Used to be the Nikki Haley even said yesterday. We need to cheat like they do. We need to do exactly what they do. We need to bundle up the votes. We need to have early voting. We need to have harvesting of votes. We need to have mail everything. We need to do everything they did because they did it and it worked.
And they're going to keep doing it.
If we don't, we're idiots, and we are idiots. We're letting them kick us in the face and saying, "Oh, I hope you don't do that again." These Republicans, cowards up there, and they got the same leadership again.
Have you ever seen a press secretary do what she just did,
God,
though?
Unbelievable.
That's all they do. They yell questions. They've always yelled questions. My entire life they yell questions, and she's trying to keep them from doing it because they're yelling it at the crazy. Here's what she said yesterday, though. Here's the reporter's question. Word for word. Can you address whether the president was involved in any of his son Hunter or his brother's foreign business dealings?
Right.
I'm quoting her. So look, there's a little bit of interesting, kind of on brand thinking here.
I've got it. Here.
What the hell does that mean?
Here we go.
Check this out.
Why don't I turn the volume up here real quick?
So look,
Can you address whether the president was involved in any of his son Hunter or his brother's foreign business dealings?
So look, there's a little bit of interesting, kind of on-brand thinking here because, congressional Republicans ran saying that they were going to fight inflation. They said they were going to make that a priority. They were very clear about that these past
Here she goes.
several months, and instead, what they're doing is they're focusing, they're making their top priority. They get the majority and their top priority.
Oh, liar.
I mean, this is
And you can't criticize her because she checks all the boxes. And you're a sexist, homophobic, racist if you question her.
She was only chosen for that job because she's black, she's gay, and she's a girl. They picked the best black gay female in America to represent the United States at the podium.
Yeah, right.
You gay black female should be so proud that this is your representative. They clicked the boxes just for you to show that you too can be an embarrassment to your country.
Just like the vice president.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, do you want to do the Carol Reed things? Do we have that or not? Again, she's doing my wine recipe, right? We did the wine recipe that I've done for. And by the way, I got a lot of really nice reactions of people. In fact, one fellow. In fact, let me give his name here real fast. Sorry, it'll just take a second.
Longfellow.
One fellow who wrote us in on my message page, and he said, Warren wrote in and said, although I don't prepare turkey by your recipe anymore since I now live alone, I tell many, welcome to the crowd here, Ward. I tell many of my friends and family relatives of how delicious turkey is when done to your recipe. I believe that people would like a different yet simple way to cook turkey, would relish you posting that recipe online on different social media. I'm not sure what that means. Should we do that, or can we do that, or
We've done that.
We've done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, it's on the website as well. So.
And Warren, thank you for your comments, and you can get it now. The late Kara Stockton, and again, do I remember this correctly? When we found out, did you know in advance, Flounder, and you didn't tell us till after the podcast? I think. Do I remember that or not?
Brett texted me and told me what happened, and then I told you two, we did the podcast, and then it was pretty much announced a day later.
I can't remember, but we had to, we didn't.
We didn't say anything on our podcast.
Anyway, and it's just she just passed away sleeping at night with her, and she was home, I guess, with her family, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was so sad. Young and just full of life. Just Kara. It was Kara. There's not a girl like her. Anyway, and she used to do a thing called Carol Reads. And one day she put my turkey recipe in her own voice, and it came out something like this.
Oh. Let me get the volume up. Here we go.
Kara Reads. And now, Kara Reads.
I heard that Kimmer makes a killer turkey. So here it is. Kimmer's wine turkey recipe. He says lots of Southern folks use Coke instead of wine, but I like the wine better. First, get your turkey ready to cook the way you usually do. Rub with butter or oil or seasonings or whatever. Next, I suggest cooking the bird upside down for the first hour or so to make sure you're careful when you flip it back over that you don't splash the hot juices or have it fall apart on you. Thirdly, make a tinfoil tent to put on top of the bird during cooking. Not airtight. You don't want to steam it. Just protect the skin from getting too cooked too early. Next, before you shove it in the oven, use any white wine and pour 3 or 4 good glugada gluggadas all over the bird. Then use your baster to squirt it all over, including the cavity if you have stuffing in there or not. Put the tent on top and shove it in. Every 20 minutes or so, pull the turkey out and pour some more wine on it. Then baste it a few more times with the drippings and wine in the pan. Keep it moist. And when the wine runs out, use the baster for the drippings to keep it wet. Now use your own judgment on when to take the tinfoil tent off as it nears the end so that it's as brown as you want it. And finally, the drippings make the best gravy you've ever had. And the white meat will squirt at you when you stick a fork in it. Enjoy. And happy Thanksgiving.
The late, great Kara. Still can't believe it. And Mike Brooks, that's unbelievable.
In 1 year.
Yeah. Wow. A couple of things on Thanksgiving. I thought, we still have some more newsy things to talk about, but
no, let's don't.
Just a little, not too much. I do want to mention one or two couple things in a minute that need reckoning. But how about some Thanksgiving advice? We used to actually sit around and try to say something nice on Thanksgiving, or things we're grateful for and stuff like that.
Think about it.
Some things to say maybe at Thanksgiving to kind of soak in the happiness of the occasion. Things to remember about the way we live our lives. As an old farmer would say, words that soak into your ears are whispered, not yelled. You cannot unsay a cruel word. The best sermons are lived, not preached. If you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is stop digging. That makes great sense. But my favorite, don't pick a fight with an old man. If he's too old to fight, he'll just kill you.
Words of wisdom.
And one more kind of lighthearted story. A true story. A true story of faith and happiness and a bright attitude. 3 friends had a buddy named Joe, and Joe used to drive them crazy because he always found the bright side of everything, no matter what, an eternal optimist. Every bad situation, Joe always said, could have been worse. His friends hated that about him. So they decided to come up with a story one time so horrible that even Joe couldn't figure out the bright side of it. So the next day, they showed up for a golf game, but one of the 3 guys was missing. Joe said, hey, where's Gary? One friend said, oh my God, Joe, you didn't hear? Yesterday, Gary found his wife in bed with another man, shot them both, and then turned the gun on himself. Sure enough, Joe said, well, it could have been worse. I said, what are you talking about? It could have been worse. My God, it could have been worse. What are you talking? He just killed himself. And he said, well, if it had happened 2 days ago, I'd be dead right now. Always finding the bright side, the bright side of things. True story. Absolutely true story. I did change the names. Did you see the picture of the goldfish that guy caught in France? Holy crap! There's a British guy went in Charmaine Lake or something in France, and he caught a goldfish that weighs 67 pounds. It looks like a big round. It's as big as a bathtub. It's as big. I mean, it's huge. You have to. It's a thing, and I guess it's like a hybrid goldfish carp or something, and it's 67. It must be 4 feet round. It's a damn diameter, the damnest thing you ever saw. Funny part of the gay nightclub shooting. Not there's a funny thing about the gay nightclub shooting, but the thing I thought was really cool. Well, in light of the fact that one of you guys, I think it was Pete, sent the video yesterday of the guy who tried to rob the guy's porch, a porch pirate, stealing a box off the porch, and the owner comes out with a gun. He comes with a rifle and said, "What the hell you think you're doing?" And said, "Don't we wish?" I'm surprised he didn't shoot him in the leg or something. But in this gay nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs. Did you see the video of the great big former Army soldier? And he's the one, he was right next to the gunman. And when the gunman started shooting and killing and winning all those people, the Army soldier grabbed him, took away the gun, and beat the living crap out of him with a pistol. He pistol whipped him so badly that he's still in the hospital. And then the audio of the gunman, of the good guy, the army guy, saying, "Kick him in the face, kick him in the face, kick him in the head. Come on, kick him in the head."
Just killed him.
And one of the drag queen guys spiked him with his high heels. He's stabbing him with his high heels in the face, and the bad guy is still in the hospital. Sorry, but I mean, and he's just wailing on him with his own pistol, just beating the living crap out of this guy, which I think is very hysterical. It turns out the guy who ran into those 24 runners of the military people fell asleep at the wheel, he said. It was not intentional. He fell asleep and ran into him. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's what he said. And the guy who killed somebody at the store in, was it Boston or somebody up north, ran his car into a computer store or Apple store and killed somebody and wounded a bunch. He said he was looking for a place, and he was trying to find a place to drive into, and his foot got caught in the accelerator, and he couldn't get it out, and he slammed in and ran into the people. That was an accident, was not intentional. Just as kind of a quick update. Let's see, quickly, when they came out and mentioned that Hunter Biden's being investigated and all the Republicans, Twitter went nuts. Republicans want to investigate Hunter for making $5 million, dropping his daddy's name, but not Jared and Ivanka Trump for making $640 million while they worked inside the White House, received special treatment on China patents, and another $2 billion from Saudis when they left. And this is a constant meme. Everybody's saying, ever wonder why after 2 years since the orange blob has been out of the White House and has no more power, Jared and Ivanka must have committed a shitload of corruption and all kinds of crimes while they were advisors and not being investigated, like they're above the law, one after another. In fact, Michael Cohen, the former lawyer, Trump's lawyer, said, "I believe Jared and Ivanka are potentially the moles for shedding light on the DOJ about classified documents at Mar-a-Lago." And I mean, Jesus.
Don't give them a platform again, because enough people are seeing it.
But I can't. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's the same thing the Pelosi's did.
They're all saying they made $640 million and got $2 billion from the Saudis. What the heck? And one good news thing: Jen Psaki has been told by a judge she must be deposed in the lawsuit with a collusion on big tech. Now she'll probably lie or say I don't remember, but if they catch emails, if they have correspondence,
nothing will happen.
Well, I assume nothing will happen, but at least the judge said you've got to testify. So I mean, if nothing else, that's that's potentially good news. So I thought that was
good news. Brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net, 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets. Still time to get the loved one a closet.
It's a great gift. And believe me, and this is a lot more than a stocking stuffer. You make up a little box and wrap it up and put the gift certificate or whatever in there, or a picture or something in there. She'll love that. They love that stuff. Little surprises. One last newsy thing. A couple quick things. Elon Musk is now reinstating Georgia Representative Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Is back on Twitter if she wants to be. I don't think Trump.
She's back.
She's back, and I don't think Trump has said he's back yet. He's got Truth Social, but we don't know whether he's going to go back on Twitter.
Juanita
or not.
Broderick is back.
Oh, she is. Mm-hmm. Good. God, they still, the disrespect. They talk about, believe in the girl. They never respected her from day one.
And it's amazing. Sargon of Akkad is back, and all these people that I had forgotten that I followed and haven't seen for 2-3 years. And it's amazing how many are suddenly popping back up, and it's like, oh my God, look what we've missed for the last 2 or 3 years. That these, in fact, there's a great thing. James Woods. Let me find it here a second. James Woods, because people are saying we should feel sorry for these people losing their jobs.
Oh, please.
Because you never want someone to lose their job, all that bullshit. Where James Woods says, you all banned or suppressed millions of Americans because you didn't like their politics. Eat shit, every one of you.
Yeah. Poor baby, lose your job. You put this country in a dive into the cesspool. You've made us vulnerable, a laughing stock. You've ruined our economy. Hell, it cost us 3 jobs. We've lost. We have 1 job lost because we were so successful. They made money selling the radio station, but we lost 2 jobs because of the pandemic, because of the China virus thing and closing down the economy and everything else. Anyway. Also, and the city of Atlanta is going to pay Rayshard Brooks' family $1 million.
Why?
Oh, because
Why?
they're guilty. Yeah. And for the record, this I won't spend a lot of time on this. But this really steams me. And by the way, even in the Al Jazeera Constitution, the story, the city paid $1 million to the widow of Rayshard Brooks, who again was said, the poor man was on the way home to celebrate the next morning with his little girl's birthday party. He had been at his girlfriend's house cheating on his wife with his girlfriend, doing drugs, and so badly that he passed out in the Wendy's drive-thru. And there's a picture in the Al Jazeera Constitution of the police officers for 30 minutes talking with him, saying, "Sir, we can't let you drive home. This is wrong. We have to take you in. Everything's fine." They pleaded with him for 30 minutes. Sir, the first words out of the cop's mouth when he went to the window on his own camera showed, "Sir, are you okay? Can we help you?" And yet, when he tried to shoot him with their own taser, they shot back and killed him.
So why are they getting $1 million?
Well, because a family suing for wrongful death and for everything else.
But it's proven it wasn't wrongful.
The city said, you know what? It would cost us less to give them $1 million than if we go to court. They actually said it. They admitted it.
For that piece of shit.
And then they burned down the Wendy's. Chief Erica Shields had to resign. Fulton DA Paul Howard was a disgrace, immediately blasting these cops as racists and so forth. And they were cleared. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. But the DA said the vote was unanimous. They had a 20-minute closed-door executive council, Atlanta City Council, closed-door 20 minutes, unanimous vote to give them $1 million. They determined that the city of Atlanta's potential financial exposure in defending plaintiffs' claims is in excess of the settlement amount. They paid them off for $1 million because it's less than they would have had to pay if they went to court. I hate this. There's cowards, you freaking stinking hypocritical bastard racist scumbags. Oh, I just, okay. Sorry. Holy crap, it's sports. Tomorrow, I'm guessing? Or maybe tomorrow. I take a couple days off. Okay. And a couple of sports things. I noticed a lot of Twitter support for Andrew Jones to go in the Hall of Fame. They released the ballot.
There's very few on that list I'd vote for. He's one of them.
Well, and now again, I'm not a baseball guy like you are, but I'm a baseball fan. But let me just read some of these names. Carlos Beltran,
no.
John Lackey,
no.
Jared Weaver,
no.
R.A. Dickey,
no.
Houston Street,
no.
Francisco Rodriguez,
no.
Bronson Arroyo,
no.
Matt Cain,
no.
Jacoby Ellsbury,
no.
Jason Worth,
no.
Mike Napoli,
no.
J.J. Hardy,
no.
Johnny Peralta,
no.
Andre Ethier,
no.
I've never heard of half of these guys.
They were middle of the road players.
They were great. They were good players. I mean, they were really good baseball players for a couple of years in particular. They might have been all-stars, but these aren't Hall of Fame names.
Beltran might get in at some point.
Maybe Beltran. And Andrew Jones is another holdover.
He should be in there.
He's getting 40% of the vote.
And Billy Wagner, you can make a case for him being in there.
Other holdovers, Andrew Jones, Gary Sheffield, Alex Rodriguez, Jeff Kent.
Alex and Manny Ramirez, they have the steroid thing hanging on them.
Yeah.
So.
Manny Ramirez got 28% last time of the vote. Omar Vizquez, Andy Pettit, Jimmy Rollins, Bobby Abreu.
Vizquel might have gotten in, except the last 2 or 3 years he's had some run-ins with women that don't look good.
Anyway, to me, and I've been to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. I went as a kid and saw the Cardiff Giant, and then when I was like 9 and playing Little League Baseball with a family, and then I rode my Harley over there when I was retired.
When you were 9? Oh, yeah.
Hello. And it was wonderful, and going through all those little shops.
You have to go. It's beautiful.
You got to do it. And of course, that part of New York State, you go through the Catskills or the Adirondacks. I mean, it's just gorgeous. The leather stocking tails. I mean, Cooperstown and the guy. Where I had one of the most greatest experiences of my life with that strange woman with a little baby in her arms
Sleepy
who
Hollow.
hit on me, the Sleepy Hollow.
Terry
yeah.
Tom.
Terry, unbelievable.
That
Gorgeous.
is what it is, most underrated part of America that everyone always thinks of New York, they think of the city. But if you drive up to the Hudson, go to West Point, and then go up to Lake Placid, then go west and go through the Catskills,
go to the Roosevelt Estate,
Cooperstown, the Hyde Park. It is gorgeous.
I took Jennifer there on my Harley one time. If I remember that, sweet. If you're watching, I don't know. We went to Hyde Park on my Harley and did a little tour of that just for kicks. One more quick thing. Did you? A girl at Brown University has now made the baseball team, the first NCAA Division I baseball play female. Her name is Pichardo. She's a pitcher and outfielder for the USA Baseball Women's National Team. She spent 2 weeks this fall working out as a middle infielder, outfielder, and pitcher. She's 18, native of Queens, New York, played varsity high school baseball in 7th grade. So she's obviously a jock, and she can play, and now she's playing for the Brown University baseball team as a freshman, first woman ever in the NCAA. And I heard a story about Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Was that a funny, amusing story of some kind about a media guy? Do you know the story? Can you tell
There's
the
a
story?
reporter in Mississippi who said that Auburn's going to announce on Friday that it's Kiffin. He's going to resign after the Egg Bowl, and which makes sense and doesn't make sense. So Kiffin immediately responded by saying, I don't know who your sources are. You got bad sources, but that's not going to happen. Now, of course, he has to say that, but he didn't have to respond at all. Yeah. And then he put out a news release of his own saying that the reporter had been replaced by another reporter from another station, and he was
become the new anchor man or something.
It says, and then they brought in the dog, Juice, and he goes, Juice, what do you think about all this? And Juice says, I've been sleeping in the office all day. What did I miss? So it's back and forth. All they're talking about today, he might go, he might not go, he might announce. They're saying they're not going to announce Friday because then poor Cadillac Williams will have to coach the Iron Bowl. And Auburn players will be
before the Iron Bowl. Has anyone ever done that before? And then the Iron Bowl is a big deal for these guys.
But see, that's the end of their regular season, where Ole Miss's is Thursday night. Yeah, well, so it would make sense if he did it after it, but it doesn't make sense for Auburn to do it then. They should do it Sunday if they're going to do that. Yeah. So I don't know. I still think it's 50-50 whether he goes or not. The signs are all there that he's going to go. If he goes to Auburn, he can give up every coach in Alabama.
Well,
and he'll either stay at Auburn the rest until they run him out in 4 or 5 years, like they do to every coach, or he'll move it as a stepping stone to go to the NFL again. Yeah. But if he doesn't go, he may be waiting for Alabama.
Yeah. Now, what about Deion? Any news on what's going on with him, if anything?
They were talking. I was listening to 680 on the way over here, and Nick Cellini and Chris Domino. I don't know his name. Chris, we're talking with Matt Stinchcomb, and he was talking about all this talk about Deion going to Colorado. That would be a mistake.
Oh, he wouldn't
South
go to
Florida,
Colorado.
probably not a mistake. If he stays at Jackson State one more year, has another undefeated season or something like that, he could probably pick where he's going.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say he should go to Auburn. I don't see Auburn hiring him. I just don't. If they're going to hire an African-American, they're going to get one that's been there, Cadillac Williams. They're going to keep him. If he beats Alabama.
Or a pro coach.
How could they replace him if he beats Alabama?
Yeah.
Or even plays them all that close.
Yeah. And he's not going to go to South Florida or someplace like that. He'd
well,
go
he's
above
from
that
Florida,
step, wouldn't he? Yeah, but still, he wouldn't take that job and wait another 3 or 4 years and then do
if
another
I was
thing,
him, I wouldn't. No,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
He was probably hoping that Norvell would fail at Florida State, but they're actually turned it around this year. So
and he doesn't have to go anywhere, right? I mean, he
can stay at Jackson State, but you know he wants to be bigger.
Well, obviously, yeah. And
what more can he do? His son's there. They went 11-0. What more can he do there?
Not only that, I mean, he's established a culture of them being gentlemen, honorable student athletes.
Yeah, he's done everything
going
right.
to class, wearing coats and ties, and not acting like assholes. I mean, he's done everything. He's like John Wooden, for God's sakes, in lower level college football. I mean, you got to admire the guy at least for what he stands for.
If Mike Leach was at Mississippi State, I could see him going there.
Yeah. I would see that as, in fact, I would think about something like that as
they've already had one African American coach. Yeah. It didn't work out very well, but Deion is different.
Yeah. By the way, coming up, I'm going to. I realized as we're doing the show today that when I do my normal history and birthday list stuff, I did some for today, but I also did some for Thanksgiving Day because that's what we're kind of celebrating with this podcast. So I've got some Thanksgiving stuff, and then I realized I didn't tell Flounder or to ask Flounder if he would get me some Thanksgiving Day history and birthday stuff. So he did today's stuff. So I have that, and I'll do those two things as well. But anyway, there's just a couple.
We're going to have more birthday history
we're not
stuff. Is that what you're warning us?
It's just,
that there's going to even be more?
It's only things of interest, including a salute to Elton John. If you don't mind. But first, I want to salute our friends at flagco.com. In fact, I was putting out the flag this morning, and I just can't get over the fact that I put it on my upstairs deck, and I have western exposure. It's in the sunlight all afternoon, all summer. Well, I mean, every day. I've had this flag up there from flagco.com, my American flag, for a couple of years, and it's bright, still beautiful, bright red, white, and blue. I have the silver pole, the white pole and the kind of the silver ornament. And by the way, it's not just American flags. Every state flag, every country flag, every military flag, banners. You can make up what you want. If you're having an open house at a cul-de-sac or an open, subdivision thing, they make those big bow and arrow banner flags and stuff, whatever you're looking for. But there's a couple of really exciting, and by the way, all the materials to put them up, they actually can help you, so you can put it on brick walls, which most people can't even think about. But a couple of special things in time for the Christmas shopping season. The Starry Night flagpole Christmas lights. Everything to create the flow except with a Christmas tree of lights. If you have a 15 to 25 foot flagpole, or they can custom build one if you have a different size pole. They have cool white, warm white, red, blue, and multicolor sets. They have a mini version with a 10-foot pole. It's just spectacular. They are also offering a trailer hitch flagpole kit, which has a single or double flag maneuver deal, which is very, very cool. And the third thing to remember for the Christmas shopping season is a 20-foot telescopic pole with a wheelbase for tailgating. The base slides under a wheel to weight it down. When the game's over, it collapses into a little small package. Do it for the next week, and everything's all set to go. Those are 3 specials from flagco.com. Don't forget, they're still looking for workers. I think they need 2 or 3 warehouse workers. This could be a great opportunity for you to start now and go into the next year if you're looking for a job. A great company to deal with, flagco.com. Here's the phone number, 800-962-0956. And on the web, to contact them very easily, flagco.com. And tell them the Kimmer sent you, and they can do for you what they did for me. I love my flag, flying it every single day. A couple of quick things here. Scarlett Johansson. 38 years old. 38, 26, 30. No, 38 years old today. And she's done a movie late. She's in one of those hero movies of her. Didn't she team up with?
I don't think she's
Ryan
done something
Williams
lately.
Anyway, she's a star.
Yeah.
Every time that movie Lucy's on, I always watch it. I got
Oh, by the way, they're doing a TV show based on it.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to do a TV
series?
show. Yeah, series. Yeah.
Do you know who's going to be in it? I'd watch that.
Probably not her.
She's probably too big a star to do a TV series, I would think.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe her and Morgan will come back.
I was disappointed the series Kung Fu, and I was hoping it would actually be like another, the guy who killed himself asphyxiating sexually, whatever. But it's kind of stupid. So that might. Anyway, whatever. Mark Ruffalo is 55. The guy played the Hulk and a bunch of things, a TV guy, a movie guy. Mariel Hemingway. Is she the sane one? Which one is she? Is she the one who played with Woody Allen, played his 16-year-old girlfriend? Mariel Hemingway is 61. Jamie Lee Curtis, 64. And is that true that she was a hermaphrodite? I think that's true. Silvio Dante, 72 years old. Stephen Van Sant, formerly with...
Little Stephen.
Yeah.
I think he's back with the E Street Band.
Oh, yes,
the Sopranos.
With Cheats.
Did you see? There's going to be a big. What is it? It's Howard Stern's interviewing Bruce Springsteen, and it's going to be on HBO this Sunday
at 10. What's that a big deal? Springsteen's doing all the rounds. He's been on Kimmel and.
I don't know. This is just like an hour. This is an hour with Howard Stern.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, I can't wait.
I can leave both of those guys.
Billie Jean King is 79 today. Terry Gilliam. The Monty Python writer, and
he did the cartoons. He also did Time Bandits and some of the great. He did a lot of the directing stuff.
Terry Gilliam is 82.
The only American.
That's right, with the Monty Python boys. 2004, Ozzy Osbourne caught a burglar in his mansion in Buckinghamshire, in England. There, he got into a fight with a burglar, put the thief in a headlock, but the masked raider broke free and jumped 30 feet out the window. There was a second burglar involved, and they got away with more than $2 million in Ozzy's jewels. Well, not his family jewels, but in 2004. 1990, Rolling Stones bass player Bill Wyman decided his wife was just getting too old for him and it wasn't working anymore. His wife, you remember model Mandy Smith, who started dating Wyman with her mother's permission when she was 13. After 17 months of marriage, though, it was over. He could just getting dumped.
Yeah, and they dump on Jerry Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, 13. 1957, the famous singing duo Tom and Jerry First appeared on the TV show American Bandstand. Man, I never missed that show. Close friends through childhood. Their first joint appearance was in a school play. Jerry was the White Rabbit and Tom was the Cheshire Cat. Their stage names were Tom Graff and Jerry Landis. Then they used their names, Simon and Garfunkel. You knew that one, of course?
No.
Oh, you didn't know that one?
No, didn't know.
I'll be damned.
I was about to make fun of you because you said Simon and Garfunkel.
On Thanksgiving Day. This is now actually Thanksgiving Day.
There's
today.
extra
Just a couple quickies.
Extra birthday.
Katherine Heigl, the actress, 44.
I still do. Yeah.
She's a
biatch, but she's cute looking.
Yeah. She's a free. Isn't she the nutball?
Everybody hates her.
Yeah.
Everybody hates her.
Sarah Hyland, the funky looking one with the teeny neck and the big head
girl.
from the Modern Family. She's 32. She kind of reminds me of the two twins who were so famous.
But she had medical issues. That's why she's the
I
way
think
she
so.
is. So.
Pete Best, 81 today.
Wow. Pete Best. I interviewed Pete Best.
That's right. You told me he
on
was
the radio, GSD. Yeah.
And he was a good guy, if I recall.
Very nice. I have his book that he wrote. It's very cool book.
Stanley Livingston, 72
presume.
years old. My three sons and his former wife, Samantha, is a follower and a listener to the show and a beautiful woman. And if you Google her back in those days, too, she was an absolute knockout. And she still is a gorgeous woman. DHS liar and dwarf brain Alejandro Mayorkas is 63 today. Oscar Robertson, the big O. It was Jerry West was the logo for the NBA sign. But what was Oscar Robertson's? Isn't he famous for? He's 84 years old. He was famous. He's famous for something. I can't remember what it was. Hi, Kitty. Kitty's back. And one more. Ex-NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is 82 years old today. 2012, the ridiculous song Gangnam Style by a South Korean artist known as Psy is the most viewed video of all time, beating out Justin Bieber's Baby for the top spot, hitting 1 billion views. Gangnam Style in 2012. 1859, Charles Darwin published On the Origin of Species, a Natural Selection. This is on Thanksgiving Day history. 1974, Hello, Lucy. Scientists in Ethiopia discovered the partial skeleton of a so-called hominid 3 million years old, the most complete discovery of early man ever made in Africa, the skeleton known as Lucy. 1971, perhaps the most notorious hijacker of an airliner of all time, hijacker known as D.B. Cooper, demands $200,000 or he'll blow up the jet. They land and they put him back in the air again. He jumps out over the state of Washington. Some DNA left on his tie in the airplane now points to a man named Vince Peterson, who died in 2002.
Peterson.
They found $5,800 and $20 bills years later near the Columbia River, where he apparently jumped out, but they never found him or his body.
Well, it's Loki. We saw that.
We saw that in Loki.
Loki did it.
1944, American warplanes followed up an assault on Iwo Jima, sending 111 B-29 Super Fortress bombers in a raid on Tokyo for the first time since Doolittle in 1942.
Super Fortress.
1963, I watched in the front room of my house on Dawes Avenue as Jack Ruby pulls a gun and kills Lee Harvey Oswald, shoots him right in the belly.
They lied to us about
Saw it live. 1991, Freddie Mercury died at the age of 45, one day after he announced he had AIDS. The next day, he died.
Well, that moved quick.
And in 1933 in England, George Bernard Shaw shows his support and admiration for one Adolf Hitler. Shaw was a founder of the Fabian Society, a British socialist movement. Later on in life, Mr. Shaw realized that Hitler had a couple of bad faults, and the more I got to know him, the more I didn't like the guy. So anyway,
He liked him for eugenics.
He liked him for what's that?
Eugenics is why he liked
That's right.
him. Yeah.
Getting rid of all those brown babies
Yes.
and stuff. Yeah, all the the founder Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage's hero, Margaret Sanger, who founded it to get
Klan
rid of the
member.
black babies. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this was amazing. Wait, I notice I haven't said one thing in particular so far. On two of the history lists I looked at, didn't even mention it. The third one that Flounder sent did, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. That's all it said on the assassination of John Kennedy. It's not even mentioned in the history
My
list
mother
anymore.
was so mad. They did it on my birthday. Yeah.
I mean, but
Her
is
whole
that
life.
amazing? I mean, they don't even mention it anymore.
I know.
It's amazing. It's hard to believe. Anyway, whatever.
It's different. Like your generation, it was Kennedy. In my generation, it was Lenin. I mean, it's where people were.
Where are we now? I wonder.
Something happened. 9/11. Was after that.
I guess, yeah. But what famous?
Kurt Cobain for some people.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant for some people. Yeah.
Wow.
George Floyd for others. They're imbeciles.
Yeah. God.
Can we do some Thanksgiving stuff? Or?
If you want, what do you want to talk about?
You gonna do your tribute to Elton John now?
Well, I could do that. I wasn't really tribute, but I thought this was fairly amusing, and I didn't know whether I wanted to keep on.
Everyone said the Atlanta show was amazing, and he finished out there.
Well, Elton John is saying goodbye, his final stop on his final American tour. 47 years after he took the stage at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, Elton John showed up Sunday night in a jeweled, bedazzled Dodgers bathrobe and a uniform more fitting for the 75-year-old man on the verge of retirement. 50,000 people showed up. He said, I want to spend time with my family because I'll be 76 next year, and he brought him out. He embraced and kissed his husband, David, his two sons, Zachary and Elijah, wearing matching Dodgers jackets that read Elton on the back. John then broke into Goodbye Yellow Brick Road at the inevitable final song that he gave the Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour its name. The crowd full of rocket men and rocket women, of blue jean babies and L.A. ladies, many his age and many younger, swayed with a 2-hour show during songs like Rocket Man and Tiny Dancer, wearing sequins and spangles, sparkling spectacles, top hats, feather boas, and sometimes Donald Duck suits representing stages of Elton John's 55-year-long career. When the last song ended, Elton John climbed into a small, clear elevator that lifted him into an opening in the backdrop so he could then be seen on a giant video screen walking down a yellow brick road into the distance.
Classic.
Boy,
I wonder how long they thought about that and said, that's it. That's what I'm going to do.
Perfect.
It was perfect. Whoever came up with that, that's great.
Perfect. And I love Tiny Dancer and a couple of his songs.
75 years old and still have an energy to do a 2-hour show outside.
Right.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Like Mick Jagger, you think those guys would all be dead. And they jump around. I mean, Jagger still dances.
The rest of Keith Richards.
Could be a reason for that.
By the way, there's a player on the U.S. men's soccer team looks just like a young Keith Richards. It was frightening to see him running around out there being athletic. It's just amazing. All right, it's Thanksgiving time. Okay. Flounder, Kimmer?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you some food. You can...
All right.
You got to get rid of one of them.
All right.
Get rid of one of them. Turkey. Do you get rid of the turkey?
No. Love turkey. Love dark meat turkey in particular.
Okay.
And I get delivered my little friend Gretchen, and I tell her, you're taking food away from people because she brings all the. Anyway, I love the dark meat and turkey. It's very juicy.
All right. Rolls.
Got to have rolls and butter.
I like the old-fashioned rolls, too. They were almost gone at Kroger yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Almost
old-fashioned
gone.
roll, those little nut roll or knot rolls kind of.
Brioche type.
Yeah. And with butter and gravy when you dip it in the gravy on it.
Here's one that we never really had. Baked beans.
No, not for...
I can do without.
Here's another one that's good, but mac and cheese.
We're talking about for Thanksgiving? No, I've never had mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. I love mac and cheese, but not for Thanksgiving.
Not for Thanksgiving.
Or beans.
Here's one that can completely disappear forever.
You want to have baked beans with your family all around the break? I mean, come on. You're watching football, all of a sudden, freak. I think you've had enough.
Had enough.
Taggart?
Squash casserole.
Well, I used to love, my mother would make both the butternut squash and the acorn squash, and I forgot which is which. There's one that's yellow and kind of watery, and the other one's dark orange.
Matter.
And I love the dark orange one with lots of butter and brown sugar in it. Oh, I love that dark squash.
It's
delicious.
Greens and cornbread.
Cornbread, yeah. Greens, no.
All right.
I could do without them. I mean, I'll eat them. But
corn casserole.
Possible. If it's there, I'll eat it.
My grandmother made it really
good. If it's there, I'll eat it. If it's got a lot of breadcrumbs on it and stuff like that, yeah. Cheese maybe.
Stuffing and cranberry sauce.
Absolutely stuffing.
No stuffing.
Dressing. I'm good without cranberry sauce.
Dressing, I call it dressing.
And mashed taters and gravy.
Well, that's standard. So, my God.
Must.
Boy, did y'all get my holiday greeting I sent out today?
I forwarded
don't
to a
think I
couple
got
other
it.
text threads as well.
It's O.J. Simpson saying Happy Holidays. He's holding up a sliced ham.
You know he can slice a good turkey.
Pre-sliced.
And he's wearing a wedding ring, which means he was either married to his first wife there or Nicole when he did it.
Either one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, dog-friendly Thanksgiving. I'm going to say some stuff, and you tell me whether a dog can have it or not.
Okay.
That cat's been awful.
Yeah, I know.
He's like talkative. All right, carrots.
Yes.
My little sweet Hope girl
That's
at the
right.
stable loves carrots.
Ham.
Yes.
I think that's bad for them.
No, it's bad for it. We talked about the other day.
Yeah.
Ham's bad for dogs. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Celery.
I think roughage is okay for dogs.
Yes.
I think vegetables are all okay for animals.
Chocolate.
No. So, at least some chocolates are very bad for dogs. Some I think is all right, but basically don't give chocolate to a dog.
Corn.
I think that a vegetable I think is all okay. Although cellulose in a dog's I don't know. I would say yes as a vegetable. I think all vegetables are all right for dogs.
Not on the cob, though. By the way, cats love corn on the cob. Do they? They love corn on the cob.
Actually, on the cob itself, eating it off there, really?
Cats, my
I don't think I've ever
grandparents,
known it.
cats used to eat it all the time.
I'll be damned. I didn't know
Garlic.
that. No idea. Probably okay since it's a no?
No.
Huh.
Sweet potatoes.
Probably okay.
Only for dogs. Humans shouldn't eat that shit.
Yeah, I agree. It's horrible. Disgusting.
Leeks.
Onions? I don't know. Probably bad for their stomach.
Yeah, leeks and onions are bad for you. Green beans.
I don't know about the acid in the green beans either. I don't know.
Green beans are good.
Are good
for dogs.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
right.
All right.
Let's see. Apples.
Yeah, dogs eat apples.
No core or seeds, but the rest of it, the meat.
Okay.
That's good. Grapes.
Probably.
No, never
No
give
grape?
grapes because the skin is not good. No, never.
Really? I didn't.
Let's see. Pumpkin.
Nobody should eat pumpkin.
I agree.
Ever.
But dogs can't. Raisins.
Nobody should eat raisins. I used to eat them out of the box.
When I was a kid,
I
that
can
little
eat raisins out of the box.
So much I couldn't.
Sun-sweet, sure.
Couldn't eat anymore.
And those are good, but
no, dogs shouldn't have those.
No.
Rice.
I'll bet it's okay for dogs.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. Raw potatoes.
I'll bet that's also okay for dogs.
No, it is not good
Really?
for anybody. No.
Well, I didn't.
Quinoa.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either, but dogs can eat it. Right. Mashed taters.
Sure, why not?
It gives them the runs, but they can. No, you should not give mashed potatoes to a dog.
Oh, boy.
Cheese.
I don't think you're supposed to give cheese to a dog.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You can give a little bit of cheese.
Isn't it gum up their intestines
They
or
love
something?
cheese. Raw dough.
I don't think anybody should eat raw dough.
No, you shouldn't eat raw dough. Turkey.
Meat, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, no skin, no fat, no bones, but give them the meat.
Yeah, no bone. And make sure if chicken bones especially.
I remember one time I was walking down, and Bear reached down before I could get it, and I saw him do it. He picked up a chicken wing off the street and swallowed it. And I was like, oh my God. And
Surgery.
I waited. I waited. And later on that night, he passed it.
Oh, man, you are so
I was
lucky.
so
Those
lucky.
little bones are getting it. Oh.
And mainly because I yelled at him and grabbed him, he swallowed it instead of chewing on it, which was good.
Well, it's like,
it went in.
Still, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. Canned cranberries.
Who would even think about opening
Giving
a can
that
of
to
cranberries for
you
the
want
dog?
him to shit everywhere? No, you don't give it to a
That
dog.
can't be good.
Any desserts?
No, I don't
Pre-made
think sugar's
dessert?
good. I don't think sugar's good.
It's not good
dogs.
for doggies.
Yeah.
Pie filling and stuffing?
No, I don't think any of that's good for
No,
dogs.
you don't give that to dogs either. Southern phrases you'll hear this Thanksgiving.
All right, sir. Namaste.
On what day?
Namaste.
That's
Are
a
you going to go
Southern-
with the boys and watch football game? Namaste.
Southern phrases you'll hear this Thanksgiving. Number 1, I'm full as a tick.
Oh, whoa.
I'm about to pop. I couldn't eat another bite. Well, since you got it out, have some more. And they were talking, Domino and Chalene were talking about the fact that when we were younger, we 2 or 3 plates.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But now,
I always go back.
it's to the point now you take one plate and you eat it and you go, I can't eat
I
anymore.
can't eat like I used to, yeah.
What did they say? I think through this week, the average person will gain 5 pounds.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it right now. I bought some Entenmann's chocolate-covered donuts.
Oh, boy.
And I ate half the box last night.
If you heat those
Dip
up
them in
about
milk.
12 seconds
no, I
in a
freeze
microwave.
Them. I put them in the fridge, and then I dunk them in the milk so
Well,
it
there's
soaks
another
into
way
the
to do
thing.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
well,
God.
see, there you go.
Because the milk stays into the donut because of the shell, and you bite into it. And
Oh,
it's,
boy.
Oh, it's just good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Have some more sweet potato casserole. You didn't get enough to eat and keep a bird alive.
I'm not going to have any more sweet potato
I
casserole.
want to say once again, sweet
Bird's
potato
gonna die.
is the bane of the devil.
Yeah, it's not.
Actually,
good
it
food.
is
It's
of
not,
the devil.
Not actual.
And you tried to make Nana June's banana pudding? Bless your heart. Spam. You like spam, don't you?
I love spam. I love spam I'll make a fried spam and melted cheese sandwich on toasted good white mountain bread.
Well, spam has come up with a Christmas spam.
I saw that.
Figgy pudding flavor spam.
No. Figgy is figs.
Yeah.
It's figs and like orange slices or something. How they make all that? Oh God. No, figgy, no.
All right. The most expensive Thanksgiving on record is this year.
Yeah.
All right. In 2020, the average dinner cost for 10 people $46.90. Last year, $53.31. What do you think it is this year?
It's another 20,
No,
it's
it's not over
20%
100.
up. It's like $70, I think,
70,
isn't it?
$80.
$64.05.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gone up $20 in 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. Turkey's up 21%. Stuffing mix up 69%. Frozen pie crust, 26%. Whipping cream, 26%. Frozen peas, 23%. Rolls, 22%. Pumpkin pie, 18%. Whole milk, 16%. That's the one that really gets most people. And sweet potatoes, up 11%. That's according to the Farm Bureau.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Or worse, if you can find it.
Best cartoon I've seen so far is by Mark Parisi. It's called Off the Mark, and it's a dark night. Think of Psycho.
All right.
It's a
Oh,
dark
God.
night.
Yeah.
And the car's pulling up where, what was her
Anthony
name?
Perkins?
No, the girl.
Oh.
Lee. Janet Lee.
Janet Lee.
Janet Lee's pulling up in the car by herself, except now it's a turkey. And she's pulling up in front of the Based Motel. And in the distance, you see the motel, and there's a turkey's shadow, and he's holding a baster. The Based Motel.
Based Motel.
And finally,
Yes.
things that sound dirty at Thanksgiving, but aren't,
But may not be.
but could be.
Yes.
Whew, that's one terrific spread. I'm in the mood for a little dark meat.
Oh,
I think you said earlier. Tying the legs together keeps the inside moist.
whoa!
Talk about a large breast. It's Cool Whip time. If I don't undo my pants, I'll burst.
That's what she said.
Are you ready for seconds yet? Are you going to come again next time?
Oh!
It's a little dry. Do you still want to eat it?
Yes.
Just wait your turn. You'll get some. Don't play with your meat. Just spread the legs open and stuff it in. Do you think you'll be able to handle all these people at once? I didn't expect everyone to come at once. You still have a little bit on your chin.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to mention to you there's a podcast. It's not a Disney series.
Things that sound dirty at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Let's see. Use a nice smooth stroke when you whip it. How long will it take after you stick it in? That's what she said. You'll know it's ready when it pops up. Wow, I didn't think I could handle all of that. How many are coming? That's the biggest one I've ever seen. Just lay back and take it easy. I'll do the rest. And finally, how long do I beat it before it's ready?
And happy Thanksgiving to one and all.
Is it time for Bad Text Theater?
I think it probably is.
I don't think we have a Thanksgiving themed one.
Well, that's all right.
Ashley wrote me today. Hope you're doing well. It's Ashley. We haven't been able to connect you yet, but I'm still very interested in 4013 Melvin Drive Southwest. So I wrote, look, I've given up on ever selling the house.
Your house for sale.
You can have it. I've left the key under the mat. She has yet to get back to me on this.
Just take it. It's yours.
Yeah, I've had it.
Take it.
I told him I burned it down, and they didn't
it's
seem to
gone.
care. By the way, today's the birthday, or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's the birthday of the worst golfer ever. His name was Flitcroft or something. He was British, and he tried to enter the British Open by lying, and he shot over 190 or something like that, and they banned him from every golf tournament in Britain.
I think I remember hearing about that guy.
Let's see what it's.
It's the one under Karen, because I don't think
Karen. All right, hold on a second. All right, I can change. Okay, we did that. We did the genie ones. We should. Okay, let's do 2. One's the Halloween theater, which I don't think we did we?
I think we did. It was Halloween.
Okay, all right, we'll do the one under that then, I guess. Oh no,
that's more of a visual.
All right, let's do the one where it's the woman screaming at the cat, but it's not a cat this time.
Yeah,
it's
gotcha.
Little Yoda. It's Baby Yoda. All right.
I'll be the one on the left.
You'll be the woman screaming at the cat, and I will be the cat.
I was not intoxicated last night. I don't even drink.
Karen, you got high by a parked car. No, I'm sorry. Start again. Start again. Sorry.
I was not intoxicated last night. I don't even drink.
Karen, you got hit by a parked car, and you tried to withdraw money from the microwave. We fucked that one up. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Well,
do the one right under.
Come back with another response.
All right, the first guy, second guy.
I'll be the first guy.
Okay,
all right.
Take good care of your sister.
I don't have a sister.
You will in 9 months.
Boys, have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And
you too.
be happy and safe and peaceful and full of happy love.